Good afternoon, everyone. This is RAND. Welcome to the Global Guided Meditation Call for Wednesday, July 30, 2025, after 3:15 p.m. Eastern. We're having a time for change call tonight after 9:15 p.m. Eastern. An example of how the infinite reflection is showing up in our lives is how it manifests in our relationship with others. The more love, compassion, and acceptance we have for ourselves, the easier it is to have compassion, love, and acceptance for others. Or it's always that one thing which we absolutely dislike and cannot stand about the other, which is reflecting some part inside ourselves that we don't care to own or accept. It's like if you're upset at your whoever for being too dominating, controlling, aggressive, instead of having compassion with them, then when you take a closer look inside yourself, you see how you're not okay with those parts of yourself that feel too dominating, controlling, or aggressive. It's all a deep and yet transparent mirror. You want to make sure you're in a comfortable position. No outside distraction. Relaxed into your body. Still as a statue, focused on your breath rising and falling. Our inner world is an extension of our outer universe. That's why I always say it's all about you. And the outer world is an extension of our inner universe. This means that life extends into infinity in every direction and dimension. Our inner world and outer world are separate, never separate. Even though our physical body appears to be a completely isolated entity, it is not. We live in one sacred ocean of energy. There simply is just one universe that extends for infinity into the other realms and all dimensions and interdimensions. You can contain the wet and salty qualities of the entire ocean, and yet are just a single drop in it. And the oceanic waves are always moving and flowing through you as you. As Ramana Maharishi would say, he who thinks he is the doctor is also the sufferer. The doer is also the sufferer. The essential problem that most people are having with this life is that they are not reaching deep enough inside themselves to reconnect with their actual living, breathing, infinite spiritual essence. Our spiritual nature is a real thing. It is our most basic reality. It is what keeps our heart beating, our breath breathing, and our life force moving through you in every moment of existence. You don't have to breathe. Your body does it for you. The same as with your spiritual essence. It is living and creating through your physical body, unfolding its essential karmic programming within this great cosmic playground. It's good to know that suffering happens only when the mind gets in the way. And when we become overly focused on thoughts and material things that make us feel limited or time-bound, we start believing we only have limited options. And the realm of infinite fades into the background of the finite. And we start thinking everyone is living in a very small, contracted world. And when we only focus on our needs, we forget how to connect with the soul of others. And if we are always thinking about money and more material possessions, we cannot see or feel the infinite reality that is beneath it all. A majority of the rat race is trapped in thinking about all kinds of time-bound appointments, which causes consciousness to squeeze itself into tiny temporal boxes. So you set a time for yourself, whatever the time may be. And at this deadline, you got a deadline set for yourself. And We just do not have time to feel what eternity is like. And when we only live in a limited tick-tock 24-hour clock world, that is consumed with resources around money and material items, we instantly start feeling disconnected from the infinite, eternal beings we actually are. This addictive dwelling of the mind on what is not infinite or eternal is what makes us feel spiritually disconnected from every living being on the planet today. We were all born with a limited time-bound physical body so that we could acquire a contrasting perspective and experience ourselves as the infinite eternal being we actually are. We have the capability to create, manifest, and experience anything we desire. We are all the children of a greater universal consciousness, God, that is impregnated with unlimited potentiality. If all this talk about the infinite is expanding your mind too much to handle today, just remember that your inner world is always impacting and manifesting something in your outer world. Every thought you believe to be true is what is creating your reality. Your thoughts are always flowing through you. And you're always creating everything in your life. You will become whatever you think in the future. So be aware of your innermost thoughts, and yet somehow remain non-attached. Your thoughts are not who you truly are. You are an eternal, infinite consciousness who is beyond form and time. You are pure awareness reflecting back on yourself in this physical universe of space and time. And it's a choice to let go of thoughts that were cycling in your mind yesterday and ideas about the way life should turn out for you tomorrow. Be here now. Now is the moment of power. Now is where enlightenment is discovered for physically. You are forever moved to exist in this present moment. Your present awareness is always being generated from this present moment. Know this, and live and breathe within this knowing. You hear me talk a lot about the now, and it should be talked about every day. The moment. How many of us are able to stay in the moment, the now, without wandering off through the ego mind and tomorrow or yesterday or the next hour or whatever? Now is the moment of power. Now is where enlightenment is discovered. For physically, you are forever forced to exist in the present moment. If you want your life to be smoother, fuller, more in touch with utter bliss, get in touch with your eternal essence. Let go of any limiting thoughts that you have and drop into the knowingness that you are an infinite soul who will never, ever die. If you crave for some secure life that is easy and light, give that experience to yourself on the inner world within first. Find out how to soothe yourself emotionally, giving deep, robust, tingling sensations to every corner of your body, mind, and spirit. The great experience of divinity is always available and ready to take you into the higher dimensions. Your greatest life is ready for you here, now. So open yourself up and welcome it in. You will find the infinite within the finite. Trust the process, breathe it in, enjoy every breath you are given. Meditation is a listening with a receptive heart. Buddha. And we have so many great truths in our universe as there are stars in the sky, and yet just like the billions of trillions of stars that exist, not all truths are created equal. The universe is not made of black and white colors. You look, like I've said, closer on a clear night, you'll see an entire rainbow of flavors. There's a vast multi-dimensional cosmic playground out there, and inside you as well, as we're all plugged in. The gods that we are are all plugged in to this universe. We're plugged into all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever. And we're not disconnected. We are always plugged in. It's just that the majority of us do not know it. We're not aware of it. So we live a life created by us without knowing that we created it. That we believe that something else created it or is creating it for us. And whenever we discover a larger, more profound truth in life, a little miracle happens. Everything that once felt hard, heavy, stuck inside us suddenly becomes exalted and liberated. We feel lighter than the air and are filled with a natural, spontaneous joy inside which flows as freely as the wind. The mind stops thinking. We experience our own source of consciousness. And from there, we see life from a much more expanded perspective as it can happen within milliseconds. One of the biggest truths that you probably got ever uncovered along your path is that, I don't know if you've read it, but I've stated a lot, is that the first lesson, of course, of Miracles. That which is real cannot be threatened, and that which is unreal does not exist. Might take you a while for this to sink in. So it's like you digest this enormous truth into your mind. And you root it throughout your life. The more you sit with it, the deeper it transforms your entire way of viewing yourself and others and this world. That which is real cannot be threatened. Think about this. What is that feels threatened inside you? What is this personality, self-ego, or the thing you call you, which defends itself when feeling attacked or provoked? What is this little you who has a need to be on guard and protect itself, trying to assert itself and attempting to achieve something important or worthwhile with their life? And then, who is the overly strong, confident, important you who compensates for the super small, unimportant you? It's the one who has been attempting to make your life secure by feeling self-important, accomplished, met in deep embrace by their beloved, and all the while is feeling a deep and constant separation from God. The good news is that all this is that who we truly are has nothing to do with who and what we think we are. Whatever we may think of and conceive of about ourselves with the mind can only be thought, only a thought. And this little thought is too small to be who or what we are. Who and what we really are is beyond any spiritual understanding of the mind. In this moment, and only this moment, we can find what is actually real. And this real thing is the only thing that liberates us and blinds us and binds us at the same time. That which is real, the real you, does not change, and this essence is what remains the same for all eternity. Perhaps the most pivotal, enlightening truth is understanding, comprehending how all identification with the ego is based in some form of fear. If we are not experiencing a state of oneness, unity, love, connection, relaxation, and bliss, we are hanging out in some quality or version of fear. The ego is clinging to some thought or a process or thoughts which leaves deep down it is not one, believes deep down that it is not one with the divine. It thinks it is not loved, accepted, embraced, or enlightened. The more creative you become, the more godly you become. When your creativity comes to a climax, when each moment in your life is filled with creativity, you live in God. Enlightenment is simply realizing again and again how to remain non-identified with one's ego. The enlightened state is a pure seeing, understanding how the ego is the greatest illusion of them all. To intimately know and become identified with the real self, that which cannot be threatened, is the only true path to total freedom there is. All other paths lead to some form of suffering. It requires no basic standard of ethics, codes of spirituality, or religious background needed to arrive. You simply experience yourself as the essence of consciousness that you naturally are. Now, the ego, who we think we are, has some truth to it, yet it is just not a very big truth. It's a smaller truth which only castrates our ability to expand into love, trust, and a feeling of oneness. Ego is a fear-based program that is based in the opposite experience of trust. And whenever we are living in trust 24 hours a day, we start accessing all the wisdom and knowledge known to all the saints, masters, and enlightened beings, all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever. We step into the greatest experience of our lives. We find our real true selves and know that we are the real masters of our destiny. And when we know our real nature, we can allow life to play its ego personality role through it and somehow not get in the way. We can sit back, go with the flow, enjoy the ride. We can remain fascinated by life, learning how we are here to serve others, take care of our body, and simply let the all-intelligent life force move through us. And this state of perpetual enjoyment of life is real mastery when we remain free from all forms of ego identification. We cannot help but to enjoy all aspects of life. We allow a greater love to always guide our course and help us live with ease and grace in every way. The moment you start seeing life as non-serious, a playfulness, all the burden of your heart disappears. All the fear of death, of life, of love, everything disappears. One starts living with a very light weight, almost no weight. So weightless one can fly in the open sky. Osho. So we've got this huge ball of energy. Okay? Huge. And that ball of energy is everything. Picture that. It's you, it's me, it's everything. It's all the thoughts. It's just about everything you could possibly imagine. Period. And doesn't matter what we perceive or what we see about it, but the whole thing is one. All the planets, all the solar systems, all the galaxies, one. Not separate. It appears to be separate. We view it as separate through the ego mind, but it is not separate. It's like your body. Well, that's separate. No, body's not separate. Body's part of the ball of energy. This huge, massive ball is the best way to describe it, of energy. And even though we're all moving around doing things, different directions, so on and so forth, we don't identify with the fact that we're all one. Because our ego mind dictates to us to say, well, no, you're not all one. Everybody's separate. Everything's separate. And see, with our eyes, that's what we see, and that's what the ego mind puts out. That instead, and the heart mind puts out that we're one. And all of us are experiencing different avenues, different facets of the one, of the collective consciousness, of all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever. The choiceless truth of who you are is revealed to be permanently here, permeating everything, not a thing and not separate from anything. Gangaji. We have this spiritual energy and consciousness happening all around us all the time. We aren't always aware of it because our minds are so distracted and busy with those all too important things of this physical world. It's only when everything stops from seemingly random event that we are thrown back to our real selves and can see, feel, and taste the bigger picture. In a few brief moments, the mind drops its game, and we comprehend how divinely perfect everything is. So it could be anything that triggers you, that you go into a state of peace. Could be a song, could be something that someone says, it could be a thought, and you just move into a peaceful state. You just feel peaceful. And there's always messages. Because in this energy field that we are in, that we're all part of, remember, everything's energy. And so when you look at that and you see let's say an animal or an insect or something, and it shows up with you or in front of you or it's there, those are all specks of spiritual energy communicating with us. Now, of course, most of us don't have a clue. We just ignore it. We just think it's just part of the nature and everything. But these creatures show up at specific times in our lives to communicate with us, to give us a message. And if we're receptive to it, then we embrace it. And it's been a proven fact that throughout the ages, that whether it be an insect, whatever it may be, they give messages. And there's a definition of what the message is and what they're giving you. Because you realize that it's not all the time that you have these energies show up. It's not often. When they do show up, we just kind of, we just let it pass by. But everywhere, any place, any time, you are getting messages. You're getting energetic frequencies sent to you or conveyed to you. Sometimes you don't even know it. You change your way of thinking. You change your direction. Sometimes you don't even know why. You communicate on a frequency through your spirit, through the God that you are in the body. And then, of course, they're all spirit energy, God energy. And so they have their ways of communicating just like we do. It's really important because it truly is a proven fact. It's not, some kind of mystical, made-up mumbo-jumbo. And when you see these things and you're able to note what their message is, you could go on the internet and type it in. What does it mean when I meet this? Or what does it mean when I see this? And it'll tell you. And there are people that are in tune to it, so they know exactly what the communications are. See, we're always getting help. We just don't know it. We think, a lot of times we think we're alone, we're this, we're that, but we're always getting help, as long as you don't get in the way. Do you just allow things to just come in? You're not really focused or fixated on any one thing, and it's just, you manifest. It's an open manifestation. And we're here on this planet in this very now moment to do what? Well, we're in liberation. We're also in ascension. Okay? We're ascending. How long does it take to reach liberation? It is not to be future. It is there forever. here and now. Realization is for everyone. Realization makes no difference between the aspirants. This very doubt you have whether you are realized or not, with the notion that you say you have not realized, are themselves the obstacles to realization. Be free from these obstacles and see who you truly are, Ramana Maharishi. It's like when limit is lost, when ego is lost, limit is lost. You become infinite, kind, beautiful, Yogi Bhajan. See, we have a whole plethora of direction going in many different areas to assist us, which is great. Okay? And you're in deep gratitude for it because you have all these energetic frequencies that are constantly communicating with you. Why is it there? That's why it's there. We have all this assistance and all this help, but 9 times out of 10, we don't recognize it. We don't embrace it. Okay? And this is all about our ascension, our spiritual evolution on this planet. All this mumbo-jumbo stuff going on isn't in the now. It isn't. It's in the now shortly, and then it's gone. And you notice with this society, everybody fixates, kicks it, talks about it. It isn't embraced and then let go of. It just stays around. If you were to view the majority of people, you would say, okay, so I'm comprehending that they live in ego mind, not heart mind. Sometimes they might stop into ego mind. They don't live in the now. They don't live in silence at times. And that's why, you call this the rat race. Because everybody's scurrying to get somewhere, and most of the time they don't know where it is. And, we have the ability to shift out of anything that we've been sucked into by the ego. And during the course of the day, you can literally sit there and let the ego know that it's not in charge. And you keep doing it day by day. And when you start practicing heart-mindedness, God self, you're in ascension. Everybody's in ascension. I don't care what anybody says. Everybody on this planet's in ascension. Okay? We're ascending. Our spiritual frequencies are taking center stage. We're ascending, rising, however you want to say it. And what that means is we're going into higher and higher frequencies. And after a while, you realize is that you're no longer entertaining low vibrational frequencies. These frequencies are what? Energy. They're energy. And when they're directed a certain way, they do a lot of good things. But when you direct energies in a negative way, they do a lot of bad things. And what are we? What are these bodies? Frequencies. Constructed through an energetic pattern. All of us are made up of energetic frequencies. What about the gods that we are? Pure energy. What's energy? Frequency. And the whole thing revolves, moves. And some of us, aware enough, fortunate enough to be aware, embrace that. And we don't let go of it because we know, without a question of a doubt, that we are omnipotently powerful, supreme, manifesting, abundant beings that never die. That, in a way, we're in these bodies to experience physical, material life, but not let it experience us. You see what I mean? Because the majority of people let it experience them, not them experience it. Knowing that, though, see, not being mired in it and dragged down in it, but knowing that. I know the ego mind, I'm here to experience this and master it. It's like anything else. You do have a job, you go on the job, you master the job. So it's like with us, we master the ego mind. It's not like, we don't get rid of it at first. We just bring it in through heart-mindedness, and we redirect it. We use it as a tool. We then begin using it as a tool in a vehicle through heart-mindedness. This is imperative. And there's no other way but meditation. Right? And then, like I said, people get, that this form of meditation is the only way. You can meditate walking. You can meditate even in conversation. You can meditate when you're traveling in your vehicle. You can meditate anytime you want. What is that? It means that you leave the ego mind and mind alone, and you focus on the now, moment to moment. That's how you do it. You focus on the now, moment to moment. You move yourself out of the ego mind and into heart mind. And that's where we truly desire and want to be, in heart mind. And so when we look at the material physical life, we can pick this and pick that. It's just like, a kid in a candy store. You can pick what you want and manifest it. Instead of struggling and grappling and worrying and stressing and fearing and, all that stuff that we do. And there's a lot of it going on this planet right now. A lot of it. So when you realize is that it's your decision to go into a state of heart-mindedness, nobody else's. And to be in the now, and to be in deep gratitude 24/7, and to be gentle, kind, generous, and humble with yourself all the time 24/7. And one might say, well, that's a lot to do. No, it isn't. Look at all the effort we put into material physical. Huge. We put tons of effort in material physical. Don't we? Now imagine if we took even a part of that energy that we put in material physical and put it into spiritual. Wow. What a difference that would make. And all it is, it's all about you, and it's all about you saying, I'm not interested in that. I'm not interested in engaging it. Even though that thought comes in and you view it and everything. Nope, not interested in that. I'm going to go over here and focus on the good. And so what do? You focus on the good. You focus on the positive. That's your choice. I'm going to stay over here and be on the negative and focus on all this crap, or I'm going to just not put my energy there and put it over here. And one might say, well, there's nothing positive to focus on. That is the most ridiculous statement ever. There's always something positive. Always. Through everything, there's always something positive. Always step back from things. Always step back from them. Don't engage them. Step back and view them on what they are, what they really are, how they're affecting you and interacting with you. What you do is you release, step towards releasing your negative mood is returning to the source of who and what you spiritually are. And as I've said it maybe thousands of times, we are not our name. We are not what others think of us. Or just this physical body filled with meat, blood, and emotional bones. There is a deeper spiritual aliveness that is real inside every one of us. And when you believe that you are your thoughts, then ask yourself who and what is watching and listening to them go by. There really does. There's got to be something there staring back out at you from within your body through your eyes. There's something else there. You sense it. You sense it. It's not your imagination. There's something else there. You just can't, and then you just start to say that's the God. That's who I am. Always watching. You know, the God is always watching, always watching. Never not. Always communicating, always loving, always caring. It's not destructive. It's not punishing like we've been taught in many different ways. So we have this opportunity to shift it all. The great, majestic shift. It's shifting our direction, shifting our attention. And what's your purpose in this life? To enjoy it. To learn about who and what you are. And to embrace it. And not let anyone or anything pull you off that. Because a lot of us will allow things to pull us off of it. And then we're into what? Well, we're in material physical, which is not the most wonderful place to be. Now, coming from the heart mind, looking at material physical, it's a great place to be. Because then you know what to direct and how to direct it, what to manifest, what not to manifest, how to embrace every moment that you're in existence. So we have so much power, so much enlightened energy within us. Because after all, we're all gods. We are all pure consciousness. Absolute divine perfection. Spending time in these bodies. All of us. Every shape and form. I join you in meditation. I'll return to close us out. Take an easy and slow breath in through the nose. And an easy and slow breath out from the mouth. Remain relaxed into your body. Being still, focused on your breath rising and falling. Quality of our personal relationships represent how interconnected and whole we are within ourselves. For today, take some time to recognize and acknowledge all the interactions, connections, relations, and relationships you are still thinking about from your past. This may seem like an impossible feat, yet just do the best memory recall you can. Go back to your childhood, grade school, high school. Take a good look at what memories you are still repeating. What would you have done or said differently? What do you wish you would have experienced? What happened to your heart when you did start doing and saying what you wanted to? So, your assignment is to go and tell those people what you most need to say. Start doing those things. And you don't have to find it. I mean, you go in the past just to check all that out. You can say it to them even though they're not there. Okay. This is your chance to make a significant life change in their heart and in yours. This exercise is huge and will free up more spiritual connection than you know. Take this with you for the rest of the day into the evening and night, the following morning. We will return here July 31, 2025 after 3:15 p.m. Eastern to continue our global guided meditation call, and tonight with the TFCC call after 9:15 p.m. We're going to talk about where we're really heading, what's the financials, and all this superficial stuff that you're seeing, and where we're going, really, truly, without any fluff. And the clock's ticking, and where does that take us? On everything, planetarily wide, solar system wide, and here on planet, here and out there. Be gentle, kind, generous, and humble with yourself at all times. Be in the highest of the highest high, deepest of the deepest deepest, and purest of the purest purest, eternal gratitude at all times, no matter what's going on within you or outside of you. Open your heart and allow the magic to flow in.